On behalf of BS Productions, welcome to LAXNAI 2022, where we have the Rochester Bats getting ready to take on the Basom Bombers. Huge shout out to Nina's Pizza. They stayed open late for us to swing by on the way through. Really appreciate the continued support from them and the rest of the city of Utica, along with all staff at the Utica Auditorium, who has been amazing. Thanks again. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Hello, the Cross Friends. Welcome back. We are ready after a very brief break for semifinal number 2 of the 2022 LAXNAI, the North American Invitational. And the first possession in the second semifinal will go to the Basom Bombers, wearing the white with the beautifully large and clear black numbers on the back. And they will be up against, in red, the Rochester Bats. And a drive to the net by Gates Abrams against Tyson Bell. Those are two of the key figures in this game that we'll be watching the whole time. And in this case, the goaltender, Joel Watson, is the ultimate winner of that matchup. And at the other end, Goa Abrams makes the big save. Probably two of the top goalies in this tournament to this point. Rochester gets the ball back. Big pick by Tyson Bell, and he is grabbed and spun, and then he grabs Anthony Patterson. The helmet comes off, and they're both going to go after the last second. And 50 seconds into this 40-minute game, we have the first penalties. Bell is arguing because he lost his helmet. He felt like he was, in being debucketed, he was the victim of that situation. But obviously, they were going back and forth. I think Patterson did start it because Bell was just picking him in the corner. And then, we want to look at that quickly? Or? Sorry, I didn't ask that soon enough, did I? Tournament to this point. Rochester gets the ball back. Big pick by Tyson Bell, and he is grabbed and spun, and then he grabs Anthony Patterson. The helmet comes off, and they're both going to go after the. So we were talking earlier about how people have been picking, what we've been hearing in the games. As I said, all four in that broadcast, all four of the teams in the semifinals have had their backers when I've been speaking to people. Folks saying, either Tel Aviv or Seneca from the first semi. Other people saying Rochester or Basom from this, the most likely team to win. There's a shot stopped by Goa Abrams. And I think when it comes down to who people think will win this game, the big question has been goaltending. Joel Watson, a good young goaltender, but very young. Goa Abrams, still a developing goalie, but a little bit more experience, a little bit more along in his career. Some people think that's a bit of an edge to Basom. Joel Watson has shown a knack for playing awfully well. We'll see how it plays out. So far, Watson's the only one who's given up a goal. Abrams not tested a lot, but he's been perfect when he has been. And that's a big hit. And as Greg Hart was talking about in the last game, he is officially, we said, hey, in the rules that we're playing, you can hit somebody on a loose ball. There's some contact allowed as long as it's on the front. Brooker Muir comes up with it. He's a difference maker, and Marshall Palace is yelling to him, come on ahead. He goes all the way, shoots, misses. And that one's going to get right up out of play. And it will be Rochester possession. Hand it off and they'll slow things down. Oh, that pass skips away and Justin Martin will get it. And a look of disappointment at the other end on Bryce Tolmie after that pass. Did not connect. And with a 1-0 lead, the visiting team, Basom Bombers, again, I'm not sure what the decision was in the home versus visiting because both teams undefeated. Oh, but a rip! And right now, the lead most definitely with Cam Seneca and the Basom Bombers. They're up 2-0. Bombers. Again, I'm not sure. 4.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. You're going to see Seneca just get this pass, and there's nobody near him. He is, of course, has 1 foot on the restraining line. That is a long shot, and he finds a hole. The way that they're shooting, the way that they're taking these shots, it seems like Basom has been looking and feel like they might have a scouting report on Joel Watson that they want to really follow and see what they're able to do. So far, 2 goals, it seems to be working out. Oh, but what a response by the Bats. That is a great play, rushing into the offensive zone and just burying that bouncer. Seems like Basom has been looking and feel like they might have right off the face-off. And just doing it all by himself. I believe that was Tyler Halls who won the drawing. We will find out. They're about to be announced. Oh, no. Oh, okay. They're announcing the last goal, the Seneca goal. Here's almost a breakaway chance for Martin. Just got away from him though. Yeah, it was Tyler Halls. They're driving for another one, but Kane and Francis will be pushed aside. Sorry, that was. I'm not sure who that was. We'll find out. Maybe that was. That might have been Kane and Francis. He's been wearing a white helmet the whole time. And it looks like he might have a black helmet on, which is messing me up. We'll see. Either way, Rochester has the ball and comes into the offensive zone, trailing by 1 with 3:33 to go here in the first quarter. Jimmy Chadwick runs off a pick, runs across, passes it off. Tyson Bell's going to set a pick. Here's Efrain Barreto Jr. with a bouncer off the post crossbar joint. Cam Seneca is up the floor if Basom can get it, but they will not. Rochester will come away with the ball. It was an even bet. And here's a chance, another rip. That one's blocked and caught cleanly. What a play there. And John Pierce runs up the floor. Oh, sorry, it's the other way. It's I'm going to double check that. I believe we do have one addition. I think it was John Pierce. That rebound almost picked up. The ball is rolling close to the crease. Everyone's still battling for it. And the shot clock is not running because nobody's had possession since the shot. So there was no letting anyone. Rochester back up the floor. They're trailing by 1 still. Ball on the near side. And you get it back. Round the world shot. Didn't get through. That one got through. Abrams stops it. And he's got the ball and he's looking up at the floor to Brian Rice. Rice will take off, but nothing there. So he's going to look at Marshall Palos off the bench. Great transition defense. That was Carson Reese hustling back and taking away the ankle. Because here's Muir though, and he bounces one home. 5-hole. So they took away the first chance, but then the trailer comes in, and Rooker Muir, I told you he can be a difference maker. And he has made Marshall Palos 3-1 Basom. Just a nice little step to the side for Muir and then rams that home low. And I was talking about the favorites that most people seem to feel that Seneca may be slightly favored over Gold Star, but Gold Star came through and won a thriller in the last semifinal, the first semifinal it was, which is the last one so far to have happened. But in this one, I think most people coming into the tournament thought the Rochester Bats were favorites. I don't think people have gotten off that too much, but everyone thought this was a real toss-up, and it is even more of a toss-up now after a lovely play in transition and finishing off on a pretty nice pass, but a beautiful in this catch. One, I think most have a chance to bury this one. And again, Tyler Halls with that. No, that's not Tyler Halls. Wow, that is a big play off the face-off. It is Seneca and Halls at the dot again, and Halls is just cleaning up on these face-offs. Oh. It was Tyler Halls winning the previous draw and setting that one up, and George Downey taking the pass and banging it home. With 22 seconds to go, it's a 1-goal game as we near the end of the first quarter. I'm Steven Stamp. This is the 2022 LAXNAI. Driving to the net and throwing a shoulder and elbow up. That is Kanan Francis, and he has scored after the initiating the contact. That is such a power forward kind of move to put the shoulder in. Actually kind of throws the elbow to give him a bit of a shove. Near the end of the first quarter. And that is going to do it for the first quarter of play, and we will go to the break for 2 minutes with the score 3-3. Sorry, can we run that one more, Greg? Because I was looking at the clock. Here comes Francis. And look at this. He is going to lean in, really create some space for himself, and then just bang that home to make it 3-3. What a great first quarter. We've got so much more to come. Remember, the game after this will be the women's exhibition, which is very exciting. And then we'll have the third place game between the loser of this and the Seneca Marksman. And then the championship at 9 o'clock or 9:10 between Gold Star Tel Aviv and the winner of this game. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. Welcome back, lacrosse friends. We're ready to roll with quarter number 2 of the second semifinal at the 2022 LAXNAI. I'm Steven Stamp, and it is 3-3. Rochester has the ball. Tyson Bell coming on in. Little pass behind the net. Dunk attempt, but Goa Abrams was there with alacrity to turn that one aside. Basom will set up. Brooker up for an offensive shift. He's going to set a big old pick, but that ball gets away and up out of play, and it will be Bats' possession. They come to the near side to Chase Scanlon. Great chance, saved by Abrams. That's an opportunity for Nick Miller coming in. Swim move by Scanlon, kind of grabbed onto there by Anthony Patterson. A little surprised as his jersey tugged up. We didn't get a bit of a holding call. Well, not a bit. I guess it's either a holding call or it isn't. Right on the crease and on the crease, in the crease. And the defender shoving the forward out of the way. And Patterson still getting into it over there with trying to see who that was on the crease there. Not surprising when you go into the crease and keep playing. I don't think he played after the whistle, but after the defender saw he was clearly in the crease was the issue there. Skylar Thomas crossed to the far side. That one's just missed. A little bit wide by Kent Printup, and that's going to be an over and back. He'll be grabbed there by Adam Peroni. He's going to try and set something up. Peroni in the offensive zone. Eric Turner to the far side. Peroni will cut to the middle. You can go ahead and give it to him. He's been at least a 5-goal scorer in a game in the Arena League. They're going to skip past Owen, doesn't get through. It is grabbed there. George Downey gets it into the corner. Lots of time on the shot clock. Peroni rips one just a little bit wide. And then great forecheck pressure by Peroni to go get that back, but it's stripped away from him. Some solid effort there. Good work by Ainsley Prangle, but he's not able to get it, so Justin Martin will have to go over and get on top of the Rochester player to prevent him from going straight to the net. They've got 20 seconds left on the shot clock as they get the full offensive complement out. 3-3. I was going to say halfway through the half, but it is 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. We have 4 10-minute running time quarters, 2 minutes stop time at the end of the fourth. Here comes Owen Hill. Pretty big fake, pulls it down. They're going to set up the O. Brooker Muir tried to pass one down low, didn't get through, and it's going to be grabbed by Watson. Actually, it's too far for Watson, so it's grabbed there by Barreto Jr. He just kind of shoves his defender or forechecker, Marshall Palace, off to the side and makes the pass ahead. Barreto coming up to join the offensive set. I thought he would be heading off for a change, but he's going to just he's signaling to Tyson Bell. I'm going to pick for you. Does so. Bell pops out. Passing lane's not there. It's hard rip but wide by George Downey. Comes all the way out. Another opportunity. That was just snagged by Go Abrams on that shot by Tyler Brown. Looking for a shot, and Henderson takes one, rips it. It comes back to him. He almost got it back himself. McCoy Abrams shoots and scores. That is a quick release on that ball being picked up by McCoy Abrams. We've seen him score a couple of goals like this where he just has the ball in and out of his stick in a flash. to make it 4-3 for the Basom Bombers. You see, this shot's going to go wide and come back out and just kind of bounce around. And then the quick pass to Abrams, boom, off it goes. Yeah, boom, I said. Sorry, we were getting some looks up in the booth. They're like, you're saying boom? You'd betcha. 4 minutes gone in the second quarter. 5:40 now left in the first half. Bryce told me he's going to let one rip on his New York Riptide teammate, Goa Abrams. But that was over the net. Nice outlet pass from Marshall Palace. He was looking up the floor to Gates Abrams, who was picked up nicely by Jimmy Chadwick, taking it away. But Muir has a chance, shovels to Gates Abrams, scores. And Abrams was covered so well in the transition chance, and then they just left him alone. An unusual defensive breakdown, I would say, for Rochester. Palace, he was looking up the. You see Marshall Palace. Right there was when he was looking at Gates Abrams. You see Abrams is covered, but then everybody goes after Brooker Muir. And Abrams, who is a deadly sniper, didn't have to be much of a sniper there. He had the whole net to bounce that into. 5-3. Quick back-to-back goals from Basom. And Rochester's been the back-to-back specialist because of the acuity of the face-offs of Tyler Halls. But here's a chance for a third one, but the save by Watson. That's a big stop to get his confidence back. The pass to Chase Scanlon goes awry, but nobody else is close enough, and he'll be able to track it back down. Then he's checked from behind. It gets away from him, but it actually turns into a perfect pass to Adam Peroni. Scanlon on the floor and still complaining to the official. He's just now slowly getting up. I think he was hoping to trick them, but he will be watched. Picked up immediately by a defender. Highwood Jonathan was staying there with him. The Bats get it back, and they will head forward. Bryce Tolney with the ball. Last couple of forwards coming out for the Bats. Scanlon has it. Jonathan still watching. They switch. Abrams, that's not in. He saw the celebration behind the net, but it wasn't in there. Tyler Brown trying to convince the official, I think. Oh, Gates Abrams, another chance behind the around the world pass attempt. Doesn't connect, but it is picked up by Muir with the ball bouncing off the boards. Patterson to Abrams. There's a player down the floor. It is Scanlon, and Muir's going to head back because they had 5 in the offensive zone. And Watson, that was a bit of a changeup as it was tipped. He had to reach out with the hand. Almost awkward, but he made the save without too much trouble. Here's Barreto. Now it's Basom's turn to leave somebody up the floor, but he is heading off. Waylon Abrams. He's actually going to stay out there and force the defender to stay with him. Here's Scanlon with a low pass, but is scooped up, and that rockets out off of Goa Abrams and goes to Barreto, and the Bats will set up again, and Waylon Abrams goes to the bench, and Tyler Halls goes with him. Here's Scanlon with a shot, scores! That's just a bit too much space to give him coming across the top. That is, you run into such a perfect shooting position, and Scanlon goes to Barreto, dangerous. And you can see Justin Martin trying to cover him, and just enough of a pick to open up a little space. That's a good pick to create that opportunity. And we have a 1-goal game. No surprise, we're expecting very close contests here. McCoy Abrams has one. He's going to try the initiate, and he scores, but no good. He rolled, spun, landed in the crease just before the ball got across the line. And it's no goal. And again, the official right in position. I'm going to side with him. I think he was dead on. Here's a chance the other way, and Goa Abrams stops that one. Scooped up by Brian Rice. He's a blazer, but he's going to slow down as who's 1-on-4 and will wisely make the decision to pull it out and set up the offense. They're just now getting all their forwards out there. Just under 2 left in the half. Muir going to the net. He falls and drops to his knees. Here's Rochester into the offensive zone. Great chance. Super 3-way passing play. Tyson Bell and Anthony Patterson have a chat. Patterson didn't like that. Tyson Bell was like, no, that's a nice goal. Patterson says, I beg to differ. Here we go. Bell's going to start this play as he takes this pass. He'll come to the near side, then a quick couple of steps by Eric Turner, and then the quick stick on the back door. And we're all tied up 5-5 as we approach the final minute of the first half. Gonna have some more dancers at halftime, so make sure you stick around. PMDC is back. Here's a drive to the net. Stays out of the crease, but couldn't get the shot off. Chase Scanlon just lost the ball or was stripped. It's a 3-on-4, but Patterson going all the way to the net. Just a nice save by Joel Watson. 50 seconds left. We'll see if they go for a 2-for-1. They'll probably take a shot. I thought Tyson Bell might just let that one rip, go for the 2-for-1. They opt to go for the settled offense, which hard to argue with. I'm actually not a massive fan of the 2-for-1, so I'm okay with this. Not that they care. Tyson Bell spins away, and the little underhand quick stick attempt does not connect. 5 on the shot clock. They can go ahead and pick it up and use their timeout if they want. It's through the crease. They don't have to use a timeout. They've got 20 seconds. Muir will bounce it ahead. Good idea. As Greg Hart mentioned in the last game, you can use both of your timeouts in the second half if you want. So they're going to save that. 11 seconds. They don't even pull the goalie. Muir, there's a player on the ground and being absolutely hammered while he's on the ground. Oh, and a cross check to the side of the head of John Pierce. Ephraim Barreto just mauling John Pierce with the cross check to the face. A little surprised we didn't see something called there. We're going to take a look at that, Greg. Greg Hart mentioned in the last game. So it's up at the top. You can see Barreto at the top. He gets a push from Pierce, and watch this. He kind of throws him down. Here he's going to push him on the ground. It's not a huge deal. And then right here, cross check to the side of the head. That's a penalty. I'm sorry, that's a penalty. We're going to take a break. PMDC will come out and entertain you for the half. It is tied 5-5. I'm Steven Stamp. This is the 2022 LAXNAI. Enjoy the dancing. Join us on the other side for the second half. Welcome back to the Cross Friends Story. We had a slight malfunction with our tech, but Gremlins will do that to you. But we are good to go, and we are in the third quarter of semifinal number 2 here at the LAXNAI 2022. I'm Steven Stamp. It's 5-5, and Marshall Palace was trying to pass it through to McCoy Abrams to try and break this tie, but it did not connect, and it's picked up by John Lynch. He's heading the other way. A lot of talent on both these teams. Probably slightly favored bats. I don't know. Basom's good. Rochester's good. And I don't know what is with Kanan Francis carrying the ball like that, but he hands it off. And a little spin move here by Nick Miller. Ball is stripped, but it will go straight out to his teammate. Picked up there by Liam Ferris. Here's Francis. Far side, some space for Scanlon. Runs into it. A save by Goa Abrams. That was a tough one, but it rolls straight out to Chase Scanlon. And he will toss the ball in back to Miller. Big pick from Francis, and Miller gets to the net. He's kind of corralled by first one player and then another, taken to the turf. It was Keenan Needham and then another Keenan Needham. No, oh, that's got to be a check in the back. Yeah, not a penalty, but it's definitely a loose ball push in the back, and Basom will get possession. I thought Basom got a bit of a break on the drive to the net, but they will get the ball here, and Marshall Palace, watched closely by Beretta. We have a penalty coming. That's going to be John Pierce. Let's see what that happened. I didn't see what the call is. It's going to be what? I'm not sure what that call is. I don't know that symbol. Sorry, what's that, Greg? We have a penalty coming. That's normally you have the headset on. I can hear you. It just occurred to me. Why can't I hear him? That's why. You see it? We're just seeing him going in. I don't know. It's the tap to the elbow and then another move. I don't know. We'll hear it. Michael Brandt will announce it on the PA shortly. There's Kanan Francis. Oh, nice save. Oh, holding the stick. That wasn't done right there. Okay, that explains it. Berkermere into the offensive zone will try and kill some time. John Pierce with the holding the stick penalty and backpedaling is Kent Printup. He tosses it to the top, gets it back from Skylar Thomas. Rochester with Basom shorthanded are way out, checking them, putting some pressure on, not letting them just run around and kill time. And McCoy Abrams is double team and somehow pulls out of the triple team with his ball and still in his stick. That was an amazing play by McCoy Abrams. The save by Joel Watson, and John Lynch comes across center. Just 6 on the shot on the penalty. You can see John Pierce calling to see where they want him to go. Thought of a shot, they go to Bell. That's off the goalie, off the post. And Pierce comes out and heads to the bench. It's picked off, and boy, if he'd taken off down the floor, they'd have a breakaway. Although, easy to say in retrospect. Marshall Palace has the man with him. Oh, what a rip. Marshall Palace showing you the form that made him a 150-point scorer in junior B a few years ago and a first-round NLL draft pick. And Pierce, as he is on his offside, just makes it look enough like he's going to throw the ball back across to Owen Hill. Hill's going to leave it here. You can see may have even been stripped a little bit. And Palace looks at him. They leave him, and what a perfect shot by Marshall Palace to put the Basom Bombers back up front. First goal of the third quarter. It was 5-5 through 20 minutes. It is now 6-5 through 24 minutes. Basom gets it back. Justin Martin tosses it across to Brian Rice. Gates Abrams spins off a check, shoots near side, but Joel Watson was there to take that one away. Oh, arm and a stick from Justin Martin right up into the face of Nick Miller running the floor. Miller gets it back, goes between the legs or behind the back. That shot is wide, but it's going to go to Scanlon, who's all alone up near center. Little tuck, and the twister shot goes wide. It's going to be tracked down. Peroni getting abused a little bit, and in turn abusing someone. It's a physical game developing. Well, continuing. Shot clock will expire. As Greg Hart mentioned in the last broadcast, there's no buzzer for the 30, so the refs have to see the 30 end and then make that call. That's why you're not hearing the horn go. Palace wants another one. That one goes wide. It may have hit the shaft of the stick of Joel Watson. It was going past the net anyway. Bats get it and come forward. Nick Miller's pass almost picked off, but it does get through. And Scanlon's going to survey, see who he's got. He has Caden Francis, but just getting in the way was Owen Hill. A lot of little grabs and spins and things going on among these players. And that's going to be a 30-second violation. Rochester was able to get the ball back, but they just ran out of time. Basom into the offensive zone, just getting the fifth attacker out there. It's Kent Brintup, and he's trying to slip into the open. He's picked up nicely. Good defensive shift so far for Rochester. But there's some space for Brian Rice, who goes underhand and got it through, but wasn't able to get it on net. Tolmie is clear, scores. That's a great finish, a great start to that play with Tolmie taking off, and Tyson Bell makes the pass ahead and actually gets a nice little tap from Kent Brintup saying, hey, that's a nice pass. Watch this play. There goes Bryce Tolmie just out of your screen. He saw that they were going to get it, and he was the first one to take off, and that is what created this opening. And you know what? Basin was actually early off the bench anyway, so it should have probably been a illegal substitution penalty if he hadn't scored. Tyson Bell will pick that one up, shovel it ahead. They're going to try and get another one and take the lead. The shot, what a beautiful finish. Chase Scanlon clearly using Tyler Brown as a decoy, just enough again to freeze the defender, anyway, so and then perfectly picking the far side just inside. And boy, Tyler Halls has been absolutely dynamite on the faceoffs, creating chances. I know my friend and colleague David Twambui was talking earlier about how some of the faceoff guys have been, I believe the phrase was, winning games on their own, which I immediately looked at him and raised my one eyebrow. Well, in my head, I can't actually do that. And in my mind, I raised the one eyebrow. Here's Scanlon. Another chance right off the faceoff. I generally disagree with the idea that faceoff guys make that big of a difference. I don't think possession is as important as y'all do. You were agreeing, Greg. I saw you. I heard you. But Tyler Halls has made a huge difference in this game from that faceoff spot because he's winning draws and turning them into scoring chances, and that is huge. Here's Liam Ferris. Pass to the far side. Quick stick attempt. Didn't get through. And the 30 will expire. George Downey and a defender from Basom getting into it there, but not too much comes of it. It's going to get feisty in a game like this late in the tournament, semifinal, so much on the line. Rochester leading by one, but a great chance. Kind of falling, but still getting the shot off was McCoy Abrams, but Joel Watson just lands on that one. And with just over a minute and a half left in the third, still a one-goal lead. Here comes Tolmie. He scored, was the most recent goal? One of the most recent goals for Rochester. Baldwin, an overhead strip attempt. Looked like it worked, but it's actually recovered there by the Rochester forward. Hard rip by Carson Reese, but he missed. That's the second miss by Rochester, and they're going to run out of time on the 30 with exactly 1 minute to go. Play will be turned over. It'll actually be about 52 seconds, 53 seconds as we get back underway. So, doesn't look like the Bombers are going to go for the 2-for-1. Oh, what a goal. What a finish there by Skylar Thomas. This is a great little acrobatic play by Skylar Thomas. See, a pretty slow evolving play, and that's him up at the top. He'll slip back down, sets a little pick here, and slips inside. The pass to him, and the sweep shot just bounces in. What a great finish. He's been a real setup guy in the Arena Lacrosse League, but showing some sniping ability today. Here's a drive to the net. Scanlon gets buried as he tries to go into it. And play will be blown back in. And Berkemir will pass it. The shot by Patterson. Very casually backhand stopped with the back of the goalie stick by Watson. Didn't matter. It was well after the buzzer. And we are tied once again. It is 7-7. Basom and Rochester Bats and Basom Bombers. And I have just noticed, I was like, boy, there's so much going on. And I was thinking how it's funny, the Basom Bombers. I was joking with Brendan Bomberry about, hey, it's got to be nice to have a whole team named for you because his nickname is Bomber, and they're called the Basom Bombers, and we are kind of joking about that yesterday. I just realized Brendan Bomber's not here. He's not playing.
He's not playing in this game?
I have not seen him. Have you? I don't see him over there.
I have not. I'm staring at the screen most of the time. It's hard for me to catch the numbers. I only recognize a handful of players, and he's usually one of them, and I haven't quite seen him yet.
Yeah, interesting. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute or so and bring you the fourth quarter of this semifinal game. So we're ready to roll just about. A quick talk between the officials on the floor and the officials in the box. And we are set. Tyler Halls, who has been dominating force at center against Cam Seneca, and another face-off win for Tyler Halls. But yeah, it's a violation against the Basom Bombers. And Tyler Halls kind of looks at him like, I have been making stuff happen out of the face-off. Why are you even stopping that and giving us possession? We had possession. Oh, what a rip. It doesn't matter who, how, when they got possession. That is a lovely goal. Nice shot from the outside. And the Bats have taken the lead once again. What a contrast between this game and the last one, which was such a low-scoring affair. And this one just coming across the top, popping out right there. You see it. Had to actually reach for that pass, but Nick Miller makes no mistake. Once it is in his stick, goes to the far side, squeaks one past. Go Abrams. Another chance for the Bats. Chase Scanlon slowly developing play. He got 13 to shoot, and they score. Boy, the play developed slowly and then escalated quickly. Chase Scanlon gives the ball over, and it's just going to come back and he's outside the restraining line, doesn't look super dangerous, but there's no question. That was a great shot, and it's a 9-7 lead with 8:20 to go here in the fourth. The Bats pulling ahead by a couple. Halls has it, runs right through a check, shoots, saved by Abrams. It bounds out all the way to center and went into the bench. McCoy Abrams, no, was it McCoy Abrams? It was Owen Hill ran over and started looking under the carpet, thinking maybe he could just grab it, but it actually had gone into the Rochester Bats bench off the rebound from Goa Abrams off his knee pads, and that will result in another faceoff. We'll see if Tyler Halls can get another one, and if so, if he can create something, he wins the draw. It's 3-on-3, which doesn't seem promising, but he has been making things happen with less. This one, he's just going to roll over to Chase Scanlon. Kanan Francis steps back across to Scanlon. That is stripped from him, but it comes back to Scanlon, kind of bounced off a couple of players. Most recently, I think, off Tyler Brown, who just kind of gently tapped it over to Scanlon. Nice play to help that possession along. Oh, it's a little spinner after the save by Abrams, and having to be alert there was Ainsley Pragle. Into the offensive zone for the Bombers, who need a couple of goals here. With 7 minutes to go, they go to the back door. Skylar Thomas turns and dunks, an easy dunk goal as Watson lost track of him. And Skylar Thomas has been fantastic in this game for the Basom Bombers. He pulls them back within one, and you're going to see that he comes hard across to the near side of the net here. And Watson just comes with him. And look how quickly Thomas goes back the other way and is able to tuck that one in. 1 goal game, 6:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Cam Seneca trying to grab that ball, gets away from him on the one hand pop. A nice heads-up play by backup goalie Kobe Johnson for Rochester to get that door shut so it didn't go into play, and Rochester in position to get it did get possession. It's a 2-on-1. Oh, and they score just on the off shot. Boy, my goodness. That was Tyler Halls for Tyler Halls has been good this whole tournament, but he has just been the difference-making player in this game. I know that sounds like I'm on Team Fogo, but he's far from a Fogo. You guys in your Fogo talk. Here's Chase Scanlon. Berker keeping an eye on him, trying to watch for the pick coming. The shot, Abrams had it. It looks sketchy. That's not in. They'd already blown play down, saying that an offensive player stepped in the crease. And Tyson Bell's saying, why? What happened? We weren't in the crease. It's too late now, isn't it? I should have asked earlier. Oh, what a rip, Skylar Thomas. Saying that an offensive worker, Muir, sprinting the length of the floor, hits Thomas. That's a big fake to get Lintz moving, get Watson moving. Such a convincing fake. And it is 10-9. It's back to a 1-goal game. What a turnaround. What a difference maker with the 2-goal swing, basically, with the play being blown off at one end. Probably justifiably, but we're not sure. And then they score at the other end, and now the Bombers have it back. Justin Martin with the ball. Brian Rice flips it through to Marshall Palace, gets away from him. It's grabbed there by Eric Turner. Lob pass ahead, and all alone is Tyler Halls. Who else? Saved, though, by the foot of Go Abrams. Bouncing around a little bit. Oh, see, it was about to be picked up, but it gets away once again. Keenan Ninham does have it, and he is able to get up over center, and some heavy forecheck pressure from Tyler Brown will stay for a defensive shift. We'll see if they try to go after him. Skylar Thomas has been succeeding going after everybody at this point. Pass to the near side. That rip was blocked. Bryce Tolmie soaking a little bit of that to send the shot awry from the stick of Waylon Abrams. And it's bounced all the way back down the floor. Brooker Muir will get it. And a fresh 30. He is taken down from behind, and that'll be Basom possession. Muir's ready to go. He spins off and is already heading up the floor when play is blown back in. Gates Abrams spins underneath. The fans in that end wanted a holding call. None coming. Marshall Palace gets it, a fresh 30. Oh, what a rip. That's Waylon Abrams. Again, coming off the bench, grabs it. Now we've got some liveliness after the play, and we're going to have a player from each side go to the penalty box. But with under 3 minutes to go, we are tied up once again, 10-10. And watch this. You're going to see Waylon Abrams, number 25. Brooker Muir just left. Abrams isn't even in the play. He's going to come in about now. There he is. Oh, that's good timing. Sidearm rip, drag shot as he's coming to his right, drags it to the right, and sneaks it past the foot of Joel Watson. 10-10, and we're going to have 2.5 to play as the face-off is blown. Actually, under 2.5. Remember, it'll be stop time for the last 2 minutes. We had a 1-goal game in the other semi. We are on pace for a 1-goal game in this one because there's not a ton of time for more goals to be scored. Although they have 20 goals in 38 minutes. Wouldn't be shocking to see a couple. Here's McCoy Abrams taking the pass from Marshall Palace, who's going to go instead of Pickthorn, but no time together. Abrams just went in and got a shot, and that's a penalty. No, they're not going to call it. They're just going to call possession. Could have been John Pierce with a very dangerous play. Could have been checking in the crease. Here's a rip and a goal. My goodness. That's Adam Perrone, who comes up the floor, the kind of slow transition, and then the slow break.
That's
and
a penalty.
Just nobody.
No, they're not.
Here's Peroni on the near boards. He takes this pass. He's getting up there pretty quick, but now he'll slow down a little bit. See, he hesitates. Nobody comes to him. From outside the restraining line, rips it past the foot of Goa Abrams. It's 11-10 bats. 1:54 to play. Stop time in effect. Rice and Cooper still in the penalty box. And timeout, Rochester Bats. With 1:46 to go, they lead 11-10 on that last goal by Adam Peroni. Wow. That is really something.
Yeah, it really has been. I mean, how lucky are we to get to watch all these games from this vantage point? What an amazing tournament LAXNAI's put on for us.
Yeah, so glad that for everyone who's able to be here in person. So happy to have you all with us watching in YouTube land. And I'm Steven Stamp. Got Greg Beecher jumping on the headset.
Sorry, every once in a while I get excited, so I have to get off the headset from time to time. I've got one of my favorite players out there. In a very close game. I don't want to be screaming into everybody's ear.
And I feel, I hear you on behalf of everyone, particularly the guy beside you with the headset on. It gets a little loud sometimes.
All right, thanks. I'm going back to mute for it.
We have 1:46 to go. Here we go. Brown hands it off to Scanlon. Rochester, we'll see what they drew up in their timeout. Tyson Bell is kind of directing traffic. Points Kane and Francis over into the corner. They spread out. Brown in the middle, watched by Cam Seneca. They're just waiting, trying to take some time off. Down to 12 on the shot clock. I'm trying to see what comes up here. A little pick. Set by Carson Reese. Now Bell across the floor. Scanlon. Shot around the defender. It goes wide. Owen Hill gets it. And something fell out. Something white landed over there. It looked like the ball getting free. Yeah, Greg's like, yep, it was not. Oh, what is that down there? Oh, you know what? It's a kid playing down behind the boards, and his ball is bouncing around. And it literally looked like that was the ball coming out of the stick. I was nervous for them for a second. Rochester gets it back. We're down under a minute. 53 seconds to go. They have 11 on the shot clock. They're obviously going to kill as much of this as they can and then try to get a shot in a reset. And if they do, there would not be. They get the shot. They don't get the reset. Cam Seneca gets it, and quickly, Basom takes the timeout. That's a heads-up play to get that timeout with 39.1 seconds. I would assume Goa Abrams will stay on the bench, and we will have the extra attacker out on the floor for Basom as they try to tie up an absolute thriller in this second semifinal of the 2022 LAXNAI. Greg, what do you think? Does Goa Abrams, he's got to stay at the bench. You got to have the extra attacker.
Oh, absolutely. Less than 40 seconds to go. You got to send him to the bench. And
yeah, they do have 6 forwards in the mix. Although, no, you see, they've got somebody going back on the bench. They only have 5 guys coming out. Goa Abrams is... they're trying to play. They're playing. He's going back out. They sent Kent Printup to the bench.
okay, and we're about to get underway.
We'll start in the stick of Marshall Powless. Got Skylar Thomas, and the other lefty out there is Waylon Abrams. Actually, they've got 4 lefties with Brian Rice, just the 2 righties. Gates Abrams down low, and Kent Printup over on the shooter spot. And the officials sorting something out. Marshall Palace can't wait. He wants to get started. 3 defenders up and a line across the top for Rochester, and then Linson Peroni down low. Along the boards, Printup. He's got lots of time to shoot. Double stack in the middle. No stack in the middle. Abrams behind the net. Out to Waylon Abrams shoots. It's off the foot of Watson. It'll be a fresh 30. 21.2 left in regulation time. Waylon Abrams starts with it for Basom. Marshall Palace behind the net. Joel Watson is super attentive to him. Palace comes out. He goes up to the top. There's a rip from Brian Rice after taking the pass from Gates Abrams. Abrams gets it back. They got 9 seconds. They're trying to get to Skylar Thomas. It's tipped. Bryce Tolmie going after it. It's up in the air. Tyson Bell gets it. He can't catch it. But with 1 second left, he will get it. Time will run out on the Basom Bombers. Hopes to win the LAXNAI. The Rochester Bats will advance to the championship game in a thrilling 11-10 win over the Basom Bombers. Basom can't believe it. It was back and forth. They had a bunch of leads, but Rochester in the end just squeaks one out and takes that win. Whew. This has been very exciting, and we will be going almost immediately. The women's game will get underway. They're going to be ready to come out, and they'll have some time to warm up, and then the women will play. We'll get into that in just a few minutes when we come back here at the 2022 LAXNAI. I'm Steven Stamp. Thanks for being with us, and we will see you in just